Today's webinar is about taking time off, good for business and your brain, brought to you by Prescriptive Health Solutions. I'm on vacation. Not taking vacation time is a bad idea. It harms productivity and the economy. A study released in Forbes in 2014 states that Americans left an average of 3.2 paid time off days that were unused, totaling 429 million unused days for U.S. workers. U.S. workers are using only 77% of their paid time off, and the use of vacation days is at its lowest point in the past 4 decades. Employees rate paid vacation as the number 2 most important benefit after healthcare. And the United States is the only country in the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, a group of 37 countries that work to stimulate economies and world trade. And it's the only one that does not mandate paid vacation. Taking time off is good for your brain. Research from the American Psychological Association found that when the brain can think positively, productivity improves by 31%, sales increases by 37%, and creativity and revenues can triple. The human brain is constantly demanding 20% of all the energy the body produces, and requiring only 5 to 10% more energy than usual when someone solves calculus problems or reads a book. Americans and their brains are preoccupied with work much of the time. What if the brain requires substantial downtime to remain industrious and generate its most innovative ideas? Tim Kreider wrote in the New York Times, "Idleness is not just a vacation, an indulgence, or a vice. It is as indispensable to the brain as vitamin D is to the body, and deprived of it, we suffer a mental affliction as disfiguring as rickets. The space and quiet that idleness provides is a necessary condition for standing back from life and seeing it whole, for making unexpected connections, and waiting for the wild summer lightning strikes of inspiration. It is, paradoxically, necessary to get any work done." When we are resting, the brain is anything but idle. Downtime is essential to mental processes that affirm our identities, develop our understanding of human behavior, and instill an internal code of ethics. Downtime is an opportunity for the brain to make sense of what it has recently learned, to surface fundamental unresolved tension in our lives, and to swivel its powers of reflection away from the external world towards itself. While the mind is wandering, we replay conversations we may have had earlier in the day. We rewrite our verbal blunders as a way of learning to avoid them in the future. We craft fictional dialogue to practice standing up to someone who intimidates us, or to reap the satisfaction of an imaginary harangue against somebody who wronged us. We shuffle through all of those neglected mental post-it notes, listing half-finished projects, and mull over the aspects of our lives with which we are most dissatisfied, searching for solutions. We can also sink into scenes from childhood and catapult ourselves into different hypothetical futures, and subject ourselves to a kind of moral performance review, questioning how we have treated others lately. These moments of introspection are also one way we form a sense of self, which is essentially a story we continually tell ourselves. Vacations have real benefits. Psychologists have established this. Vacations likely revitalize the body and mind by distancing people from job-related stress, by immersing people in new places, cuisines, and social circles, which in turn may lead to original ideas and insights, and by giving people the opportunity to get a good night's sleep and let their minds drift from one experience to the next, rather than forcing their brains to concentrate on a single task for hours at a time. People are working so many hours that not only in most cases do they not have more hours they could work, but there's also strong evidence that when they work for too long, they get diminishing returns of health costs and emotional costs. So why is it that workers don't take vacations? Well, according to a 2017 survey by Glassdoor, the reason U.S. workers don't use their vacation time include fear, guilt, and workplace pressures. For fear their workload is getting too great, no one else at their company can do the work, and they fear they will fall behind. They worry they will miss out on participating in an important project, a decision, or possibly a meeting. Employees fear pending layoffs, so they bank all their vacation time to cash out should they lose their job. They fear they can't afford to pay for a vacation, so why even plan one? They feel badly about leaving the office for too long because they think their team might feel lost or overwhelmed. They feel guilt that they can't afford to pay for a vacation when others in the organization can't. As far as workplace pressures, 4 out of every 10 American workers said their employer supported time off, but their heavy workload kept them from using their earned days. Many said they either aren't sure or don't think their company wants them to use all the vacation time they earn. Employees who worried about taking vacations, they thought that would make them appear less dedicated or possibly replaceable or dramatically less likely to use all their vacation time. Even if they are physically away from the office, employees are expected to check and reply to emails, participate virtually in meetings, and check voicemail messages. The pressure is so great, they figure, why use the vacation time for that anyway? Given these workplace pressures, there is a typical 24/7, always-on work culture, and it's causing increased employee burnout. Research shows that you will do better work if you take more downtime. So, what does that look like? It's simple. Maybe take short play breaks, take more frequent vacations, take one day or at least one evening off every week, or consider a midday nap. Now, you might laugh at this, but taking a short play break could be as simple as taking a break every 25 minutes of work. So, consider 25 minutes of work alternating with 5 minutes of recreation. That recreation might be playing a game on your computer or your phone, or simply getting up and walking around. This will allow different parts of your brain the opportunity to step in and problem solve. Consider taking more frequent vacations. Americans on average are allotted 10 vacation days each year, and according to brain researchers, that's not enough. So consider using some of your vacation time and using it wisely, even if it's simply to travel to a different environment. This still has solid brain benefits. Take one day or at least one evening off every week. Or consider a midday nap. I know, it's a radical suggestion and maybe not practical in every job or workplace. However, there is evidence that shows that people who take naps are more alert, more productive, and less prone to mistakes than those who don't. One reason so many people feel sleepy in late afternoon may be that napping is hardwired into our systems, something that even ancient Romans did. But if napping is completely out of the question, you can also help yourself with a daily meditation break, even as little as 5 or 10 minutes. That too will help your brain by releasing more alpha waves and make you happier for the rest of the day. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this webinar.